Hey guys, today we have a lot to talk about. I have a whole list of questions in front of me right over there. If I'm looking that way, that's why. These are questions that I have been asked recently, but also just like on the repeat, you know what I mean? Like over and over again. So I thought, let's just make a video and cover it. Not that I'm ever bothered by your questions. Okay guys, don't take it that way. Like feel free to continue to ask me your questions. But I figured if this is something that agent after agent is wanting to know, then we should probably make a video about it because I'm sure there's more people wondering. So with that being said, today we are going to answer some questions that new agents are asking. And if they're not asking, these are just things that all new agents need to know. However, if you're not a new agent, I think you will still grab value from today's video. This video does have to do with Real Broker. So these are like things that new agents at Real Broker are asking me and wondering. Again, though, if you're not with Real, I really do think you will still find value in today's video. And the very last question that I'm going to answer is a recently asked new agent question, but it does not have anything to do with Real Broker. And it is something I think all new agents need to know. And this is a huge thing that could set your business up for success as a new agent. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned until the very end. You're not gonna wanna miss anything today. First, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Mariah. I've been a real estate agent since I was 18 in 2015. After I was licensed for a couple years, my husband was able to quit his job cold turkey and join me. We've been running a team together ever since, and we love it so much. By the way, I also do calls all the time with agents who are either brand new agents wanting to join and find a good brokerage for the first time, or agents who are not new, but they're thinking about leaving their current brokerage and they're wondering if Real might be a good fit for them. If that's you, I'd love to do a call with you as well. Feel free to shoot me an email and we can get a Zoom call or even a phone call on the schedule. I'd love to hear a little bit more about you and your business and just chat about Real, get your questions answered, no pressure at all, and see if it might be a good fit for you or not. So let's just dive into these questions that if you're a new agent, you are asking. The first question is, I'm a new agent and I want to run my business with open houses. That's one of the ways I plan to get leads. And I'm just wondering, how can I find open houses to host as a new agent? At Real Broker, one of the pieces of technology that you get access to is called WorkVivo. It looks very similar to like Facebook, Workplace, that kind of thing, except it is only for agents at Real. And in this app, WorkVivo, you are going to have different state groups. So I'm in Oregon. By the way, if you have a client relocating to or needing an agent in Oregon, we would love to send you a referral fee. We always love getting your guys' referrals. But I'm in Oregon, and there is a group called the Oregon State Group. So whatever state you find yourself in, you've got a state group. So what I would do if I was either like myself, if I had a listing that I wanted somebody else to do an open house for, this is what I would do. But if I was a brand new agent like you looking for an open house to hold, this is also what I would do. I would go to my state group on WorkVivo, on that app at Real Broker, and I would ask, just make a post in that state group. I would say like, hey, does anyone have a listing in this specific county or this specific town that I could do an open house at this weekend? Text me and let me know and give them your number. That's what I would do. You can also go on the MLS and find listings in the specific area you want to hold open houses in and call those agents and just call them until you find one that says yes. I'd recommend shooting for vacant listings if possible if you're going that MLS cold calling route, because then the sellers don't have to, get their family up and leave for the open house. This agent's more likely to say yes. But first and foremost, if you're with Real, I would go to WorkVivo and utilize that service to network with other agents at Real and try to get an open house. Okay, next question is, what do you use to manage your leads? Every agent needs a CRM, that's a contact management system. I use Lofty. Lofty is the CRM system. You do not have to use it with Real, but you will get access to it at an insane discount if you are with Real. It is usually a $500 a month CRM. I won't go into it here because I've done full videos about Lofty. You can find them on my channel after this video, but I can just say right here that it is worth the $500 a month. It's so cool. But if you're with Real, you get it for $40 a month. So that's how I manage my leads. You are able to make drip campaigns. You can set up monthly newsletters. And that's basically just means like, you can, how do I say this? You can have little different categories on this CRM system. You can have different categories for different types of leads. So let's just say you can have a category for sale by owners, category for expireds, category for open house leads, long-term seller leads, long-term buyer leads, active buyer leads, all these different categories. And you can set it up so if you put someone on one of these campaigns, then they're gonna get whatever specific tailored toward them automated emails sent to them so often and so forth, just to stay in front of them over email. So that's a cool resource. It is a tedious task. You have to like really just take the time to learn Lofty, watch the boring YouTube videos, get it set up right. But it really is the kind of thing, once you do it once, it really is like a set it and forget it for the most part, and then maybe like clean it up yearly or twice a year. That's kind of how it would work. My next question is, what other fees or services are required to pay for to run your business when you're at Real Broker / what other services and fees do you pay for to run your business? My husband and I keep things extremely simple in our business. I have tried over the last 10 years now in the real estate business, I have tried many different paid advertising, paid lead generating marketing, from postcards to Facebook ads to a radio show, like so many different avenues we have tried. Zillow leads, all these things. And there's nothing wrong with any of those things, by the way, you guys. But we've really come to the point of realizing our best, solid, most consistent leads come from the free, organic ways of prospecting and marketing that work for us. For us, you guys, it's YouTube. It doesn't cost you any money to post on YouTube. You actually get paid to post on YouTube once you get certain subscribers and all of that. So YouTube and cold calling people that already want to sell, for sale by owners, and my husband likes expired listings. So that's what we know, and it works for us. There's so many ways to get business, and that don't require you to pay. Besides just cold calling, if you don't want to cold call, that's fine. And if you don't want to make YouTube videos, that's fine. But there's a lot of really great ways to make money in real estate. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, from my experience, the sweat equity that you put into your marketing, your organic marketing, and your prospecting has brought us a lot better quality leads than any of the paid things we've tried ever have. That being said, nothing wrong with those avenues. That's just how we run our business. So we keep things very, very simple. We pay, obviously all realtors pay the MLS fees, your National Association of Realtor fees. You can look those up and find out what those are near you. In this video, I'm not gonna do a full breakdown of Real's structure, fee, cap, split, but again, you can find that on my channel. After this video, I have an entire playlist called Real Broker Explained, sharing everything you need to know about joining Real. Like all those things you want to know, the split, the cap, the fees. I will just say there are no monthly fees at Real. They keep things very, very simple as far as that goes. So that's a big plus to us. We do pay for Lofty. That is the CRM system. Like I said, $40 a month. Other than that, we pay for Espresso Agent. Don't quote me on this. I want to say, get your own quote. I want to say it's $1,000 a year, but I could be off. But if an Espresso Agent, it's a dialer. If you're into cold calling, it's going to give you literally endless numbers to call, from expired listings, for sale by owners, circle prospecting. I don't do that. But if you just converted one lead from this throughout the whole year, it's going to more than pay for itself. So I think it's definitely worth it if you're going to use it consistently. But again, you don't have to cold call. Not everyone's into that. Next question is, what type of questions can you ask the AI assistant Leo with Real Broker? Now, if you're like, oh, what is Leo? I just did a video very recently where I talked about a little bit more in depth about Leo. I don't think it's titled anything about Leo, but it's in my recent uploads, and it's about the technology at Real Broker or something like that. So you can find that over there. So I won't go into depth on Leo here, but basically Leo is a AI assistant that is Real Broker specific. So I kind of think of it like ChatGPT, except, ChatGPT is not going to know if I was to ask, like, hey, where can I find this in Rezen, the Real Broker website? Or where can I find this in Real Broker? Or what is this rule with the Real Broker marketing? Like, chat's not going to know all of that. But this AI assistant, Leo, knows basically everything there is to know about Real Broker and your business specifically, so you can ask it any type of those questions. I have had agents ask, can you ask Leo like state-specific contract questions? No. Just ask your principal broker those questions. That's what they're for. And that leads me to the next question, which is, how does the principal broker support work at Real Broker? The principal broker support at Real is honestly exactly the same from what I've seen and what I've heard at pretty much every other real estate brokerage. By that, I mean, you have a problem, you can call your principal broker. The way that I contact my principal broker now is the same way that I contacted my principal broker back when I was at a big franchise brick and mortar brokerage. Your principal broker is still there to read over your documents, read over your files, make sure you're doing everything correctly. It's the same exact role. Okay, the next question I've been recently asked by new agents is, what exactly does it mean if I sign up for you to be my sponsor? If I name you as my sponsor on my ICA, my independent contractor agreement, what does that even mean? What does that entail? At Real Broker, they have, let's just say, rules as far as, they do have rules in their ICA as far as what a sponsor can and cannot do and say. For example, I cannot say, I will promise to give you free coaching and give you this free course and all of this. I just can't do that as a sponsor. However, I can and I will have a vested interest in your success at the company. Here's how that practically looks like for us. Today, I had back-to-back calls with agents who are in our network at Real Broker that have named me as their sponsor, basically just talking about their business. They have questions and, getting their business running, prospecting, handling a new listing, all of that. So here's the thing. While I cannot say, I'm going to do this, and I don't do that, I will have a vested interest in your success at the company, and I am always happy to set up a call with any of the agents that I sponsor and just like brainstorm some ideas, that type of thing. That's never a problem. I'm always super happy to do that. I will say it is a little bit more in your terms, if that makes sense. Some of the agents we sponsor, actually probably more of them than not, I never hear from. They just don't need my help. But others, they're asking me questions all the time. We're constantly voice texting or just texting each other or emailing or, whatever. And I love it, and that's totally fine. I signed up to do this. It's something I'm passionate about and I feel called to. So it's never a bother. It's something like I said, I'm extremely excited to get to chat with and help and swap ideas with other agents. So that's a little bit of how it looks. It's definitely more on your terms, and when you need it, I'm here. I'm a resource. I'm a friend. I'm cheering you on. I'm in your back pocket. But if you don't need it, that's cool too. Happy to connect and chat either way. Now, you guys, at the beginning of the video, I told you that I was going to be saving this really powerful question that I was asked for the very last. And I love this question because this agent is being so proactive about their business. So many agents, they get their license and they don't even think about how they're going to run their business, how they're going to get clients until after they get their license. And then not only that, after they get their license, they get everything set up, and then they don't even have time to think about it. But this agent was asking me, what should I be doing before I get licensed? I'm going to be officially licensed in a few months, but I'm not yet licensed. Sorry guys, this is so shaky. What should I be doing now to just make sure I can hit the ball running? That's not the word. Hit the ground running. You guys, it's been a long day. It's getting dark. We're wrapping up here. But what should I be doing to hit the ground running once I'm finally licensed? And I love this question. So my response to that is this. The number one thing I would be doing if I was in your shoes is I would be researching the different ways of getting business. Figuring out, what is it that I want to do? Watch the videos, listen to the podcast, read the books, listen to the audiobooks, all of them, and find out what way of getting business speaks to me and resonates with me and matches the vision I have in my mind of how my business should look or could look. And then whatever that is for you, be it YouTube marketing or events or there's so many things you could do, literally so many things, so many ways you could get business. Whatever that plan is for you, I would say do your research now, figure out what it is, and then start watching videos, listening to podcasts, reading books to learn how to do it better, and just already know what you're doing at least a little bit once you're licensed and ready to go. If that's YouTube for you, for example, you can be watching videos about how, what content to make to attract clients, how to do it at a high level. Obviously, you don't need expensive equipment. You guys, I'm using my phone right here, literally perched in a window, like bad angle, bad lighting. It doesn't matter. It's still going to bring me clients and leads for this aspect of my business. I know it well. It always does. But you can be researching things. And if it is video for you, for example, you can be making those videos and scheduling them to go out once you're ready for business to start, once you're officially licensed. Because on YouTube, you can schedule videos, if that makes sense. So you could literally have like a year's worth of videos. I don't know how far out you can schedule them, but you could have like 6 months of videos scheduled to go out every single week before you're even licensed. So that once you're licensed, those videos are going to work for you and you're able to, be doing open houses and figuring out how Lofty works and doing these other things while your videos are working for you while you sleep. So that's what I would be doing, you guys. That's what I would be doing. Anyway, I also would be subscribing to this YouTube channel, hitting the bell, emailing me any of your questions, hopping on a Zoom call if you're thinking about doing real at all, subscribing to these episodes via podcast, the description below if I remember. If not, it's called Real Estate Girls, I think, or something like that. Last but not least, I would be watching really great training by the top agents in the country. And you can find that on Real Academy. You do not have to be with Real Broker to access this training. Shoot me an email if you want access to Real Academy, and I can send you the link and you can join these masterminds over Zoom. You do not have to be with Real yet. Anyone can join them. And you guys, these masterminds are taught by the top agents in the entire industry. It is a actual, like a rule of life, like a literal kingdom principle. Like it's just the way it is that you become like who you spend time around. I also believe that kind of means like who you tune into, who you're listening to, you're watching. All those things are really important. Well, if you want to be a top producing agent, why wouldn't you be hanging out with the top producing agents in the country over mastermind Zooms like you can be in Real Academy, especially if you're wanting to utilize social media marketing, YouTube marketing, or video marketing, or just social media marketing of absolutely any kind, online marketing of any kind. You gotta be tuning into Real Academy because all of the agents using it at the highest levels, wow, I need a sip of my tea. All of the agents using it at the highest levels are with Real. So if you want to be like them, then you got to hang out with them in the Real Academy or just tune into them. That's my advice. Okay, guys, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up button if this video gave you value, and I'll see you soon.